Hello everyone, here I have our 1993 Toyota Hilux Surf 4x4. This one has 235,000 kilometers, or roughly 146,000 miles. It's in pretty good shape. The engine and transmission, AC, all that good stuff works perfectly. The only issues with it are more cosmetic. The rear tailgate was actually completely rebuilt recently. Let's go ahead and, wrong way. These 4Runners and Helixes are notorious for having tailgate issues. We actually took the entire tailgate apart and rebuilt it. Every single component inside the tailgate is brand new. But moving on, it's in overall pretty good shape. The paint is it's in okay shape. It could probably use a bit of a compound, but you know, it's still not in bad shape. It does have some rust bubbles around here and around here. No holes, just rust bubbles. And then down here, you can see a bit of rust around here, some flaking. But everything else on this side looks pretty good aesthetically. On the hood, you can see it's starting to clear, starting to kind of peel in a few areas, but it seems to be only on the hood. The front bumper looks like they at some point tried to do a repair. And some of these cars that they do repairs overseas on, they kind of do some weird repairs on it. One of my favorite things about this truck, however, is that it is pretty much a 1993 4Runner, with the exception of the engine is different, but everything else is interchangeable. It even has the same transmission, which is pretty good. Makes it real easy to find like parts, like, you know, here they look like they also did like some sort of weird repair on the rear bumper, but again, easy to just go to a junkyard and rip one off an early 4Runner and put it in there. The interiors are in great shape, as you can see, and that's really where the kicker is on this thing. Like, the interiors are just so clean, you know. Wow, look at this, absolutely in absolute great shape. And the same in the front. Interiors are just so clean on this thing, and I've driven this thing everywhere. It's one of my favorite cars that I've brought in when it comes to driving. It's just so practical. I've taken it up to the lake, I've put a bunch of stuff in the back, I've carried bikes, all kinds of stuff, and the engine is just so clean. Let's go ahead and pop that up so we can take a quick look, just so you can see just how clean the mechanics on this thing are. One-hander, sorry about that. So clean. It's a little dusty, but as you can see, the engine looks like it's in great shape. I mean, it is, you know, AC is ice cold, and this thing drives perfect. Let's go ahead and start her up. Starts right up. Idles as it should. The electronic antenna actually still works, which is awesome. Power windows, you know, work perfect. And like I said, the AC works, you know, if we crank it up. Ice cold, just absolutely ice cold. Idles nice and strong. This one actually has the 1KZTE turbo diesel engine, which is the largest displacement engine that comes on these things. It's the 3-liter. In contrast to some of the other ones that have the smaller 2-point-something liter turbo diesel engines, this actually has the big displacement, you know, more torque turbo diesel engine. And it is fantastic to drive. Just a few cosmetic things here and there, but driving, interiors, all that is just in awesome shape. You know, tailgate comes right down, you know, no issues, you know. And it's an absolute blast to drive. The only other thing I can think of, The speedometer kind of works when it wants to. 90% of the time it works, 10% of the time it doesn't, but it doesn't affect the odometer, so it does keep, you know, updating that. So it's just wanted a full disclosure. But this truck is just so much fun to drive. I'm actually having second thoughts about selling it because it's just so much fun to drive, and it's in such good mechanical shape, and there's literally nothing that this thing can't go over. Oh, and one other thing, the tires have some pretty good tread life, but you can tell that it's sat for a really long time because it has a bit of dry rot in certain areas, but it has so much tread life that I didn't really want to change them out. But other than that, I mean, everything works on it, runs and drives great.